To find a medicine disposal site near you, visit www.safe.pharmacy, a public service message from the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy.
Fit, active, healthy, happy, enjoying the prime of your life. Looking out for your health and wellness, this is Health Talk with Fred Lowry from Lowry Drug in Statesville. Call now to ask Fred your health questions. 704-873-1400. 704-873-1400. You can also visit Fred at his store, conveniently located on Hartness Road in Statesville.
And good Monday morning to you. Lowry Drug has served Statesville since 1959. Lowry is a full-service traditional pharmacy with a state-of-the-art compounding laboratory. Lowry Drug offers a wide variety of services, a full selection of herbs, homeopathics, essential oils, and a full line of Hammer Sports nutrition products. Lowry Drug has a full-time CPAP and BiPAP technician to help you get the right fit on your mask. Lowry has the complete line of American-made Golden Technologies lift chairs and scooters to help you stay mobile, including that carbon fiber that Fred's got access to. We like that. And Lowry Drug is your choice for the best selection of medical equipment. When you need it now, Lowry can help. And you always get front door parking, love it, and free citywide delivery. I'm here with Fred Lowry, Jr., pharmacist and doctor of natural medicine, and this is Health Talk. Good Monday morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
How are we feeling today?
Feel great.
Is that because we followed Fred's rules over the weekend and ate things only with 5 ingredients, or what makes us feel great on Monday morning?
Just staying busy.
Yeah.
Got out in the sun, did some work, and ate well, all those good things.
Now, you mentioned the sunshine, so I don't want to throw you off your game because I know you got important stuff to talk about. But how important is vitamin D to the body, right? Because that's what the sun gives us, is that vitamin D. How important?
It's very important. It's very important for your immune system, many other things. And it actually kind of ties into what I'm going to talk about. How about that?
And I didn't even know that.
Stumbled into that.
Gosh, wow.
Yeah, because I was going to talk about cholesterol. And as it turns out, you need cholesterol to make vitamin D. And you also need cholesterol to be able to transport that vitamin D throughout the body.
Now, you mentioned to me last time I should not be calling it good cholesterol or bad cholesterol. You said, don't do that, Justin. That's not the way to think about it. All of it's important. So, okay, when you say cholesterol, are both of them working together? Is there a particular type of cholesterol, or am I getting too deep into the weeds, Fred?
No. What has been characterized as bad cholesterol is vital to the body. It's very good. It's important. Your body actually makes it because it has a need for it, and it makes it in response to whatever need the body has for it. 25% of the cholesterol found in your body is reported to be in your brain. Very important for brain function.
I would have never guessed that.
It's important for your eyes. You know, if your cholesterol's too low, you can get cataracts. You make all your stress hormones, all your steroid hormones from cholesterol. And when we say stress, that sounds negative, but we all have varying degrees of stress, and so cortisol is also a good thing. Of course, when things get too extreme, then that's not good. Very complex system, but you also have to make your testosterone. You'll need that. Estrogen, progesterone. All these other hormones are made from what's called the bad cholesterol.
And it's in the brain, not in like the rest of my body. Your
brain actually can make its own cholesterol. So, you know, when you think about that, and then think about there continues to be a trend to get that cholesterol as low as possible, with the concept of it can't be too low. And the lab ranges for LDL cholesterol starts at 0. Now you know that's not right, because there is a range, and I think the cholesterol range there for LDL is, let's see, 0 to 99.
That's a pretty broad. I mean, unless I'm wrong, that seems like a broad range.
That's a big range.
That's like pass and fail. That's how, like, if you think of school days, right? That's either you got somebody doing nothing to.
So is
perfect.
it normal to have a cholesterol of 20? I don't think so. So just think about all this stuff. This cholesterol is part of the membrane structures of the body. It's made to repair things. It holds cells together. Think about it like 2x4s. You can also think about it kind of like soap. So in your blood, your blood vessels, it's basically a water system, and fats and water don't really mix. So the LDL cholesterol think about it as a carrier for fats, including vitamin E, vitamin A, the fish oil, DHA, vitamin K, all of these, and vitamin D. You have to have something that can carry these vitamins throughout the blood system and into the brain.
So it becomes vital. So the thought of it being zero is really a problem if you're too low. If I think about it logically, if I need that to transfer all of those other good things throughout my body and have that kind of system, to have zero on that means there might actually be an issue.
Well, I think you're dead at that point in time.
Yeah.
Think about the cholesterol being part of the myelin sheath. That's the coating around the nerves. So, in terms of being able to protect those nerves with electrical impulses. So now we're talking about governing thought, movement, and sensation. So, one of the side effects of too low cholesterol could be peripheral neuropathy or problems with that. And it also plays a big role in cognitive function, your ability of your brain to work. Not just the cholesterol, but these hormones that we were talking about also regulate how well the body works. Testosterone and estrogen are really important for cognitive function. So as we're lowering cholesterol, we may be lowering those hormones and affecting that as well.
Help me connect then, if it's about the brain, how is it that everything that gets talked about with cholesterol is the heart? So make that connection from the brain to the heart for me.
So now we have a disconnect between the brain and the heart, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's all about the concept that cholesterol causes buildup of plaque in the arteries. And there's just more to it than that. More importantly, things that are vitamins. There's something called homocysteine, which is kind of like a free radical, and it causes damage to the blood vessels, and it's dependent on folic acid, vitamin B6, and B12. So if you're having problems with those blood vessels, it might be more related to homocysteine. There's also association with different types of infections that cause damage to blood vessels. So the cholesterol is there to repair that blood vessel. But then you get the calcification and also the wrong kind of fats that we've talked about in terms of diminishing that from your diet that causes problems with blood vessels.
So you mentioned, and that's LDL we're talking about specifically. Is it HDL or what's the other? There's two cholesterols, right? So there's LDL. What's the other cholesterol?
HDL.
HDL. So are LDL and HDL like best friends, husband and wife? Like, how does that work in the body then if I think about one versus the other?
Well, it all works together along with triglycerides, with fat. So, which brings up another point is that if you don't have enough cholesterol, you may not be able to transport fats in terms of burning them for fuel.
And both of the cholesterols help with that process?
Yeah. So the LDL is more of a fat protein combination, basically. So you've got to have this cholesterol. But when you start lowering it with statins, which is the most common, and this is something else that's important, is some of these statin drugs to lower cholesterol are water soluble. Some of them are fat soluble. So what that means is some can enter the brain and some cannot.
Seems important when we're talking about a function in the brain that it needs to be able to enter the brain.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the brain is telling the body to make cholesterol, just like it tells the body to do all kinds of other things.
Now, and statins are taken in capsule form, I imagine. Are there different versions of...
Well, they're tablets.
Tablets. And that's different than capsule.
Yeah, that's just a different dosage form.
I'm trying to learn the lingo here with you,
Okay.
Fred. I'm tracking with you here. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I could get you with the, me saying capsule today instead of pill. I thought I would have had you on that one, but no, you're too smart for me.
So, if you look at different studies and reports about, cholesterol and heart disease, you'll find things on both sides of the aisle. And I think, it's really hard to do studies because there are differences in people, genetics, diets. Do they smoke? Do they exercise? Are they overweight? Do they use alcohol, other medications? So I think it's really hard to tease out some of this stuff. But lower cholesterol is also related to mood, and there has been association with increased violent death with low cholesterol, violent suicide. Particularly in men. So that's, and that was happened in particular with one of the earlier statin drugs.
And if cholesterol's too low, if you let it get too low, that can happen.
Yeah.
Ouch. And then so is it because of my high fatty diet, I'll call it, that I'm on, is that's what raises my LDL too high because there's just so much fat going through it that the cholesterol can't transport it and get it out? Is that the idea?
Not necessarily. It's the types of fats. Like the seed oil is called linoleic acid, which is found in corn oil, soy, canola, all of these vegetable oils. They're very unstable, and they can change chemically in response to light, heat, and agitation. So if you put these oils in an 18-wheeler and roll it down the road, you're going to get all of that.
Really?
So yeah.
Is that
sure.
the test? Is that the official test that they do with them?
Well,
is that a Fred test?
No. It's because their trucks are hot.
Yeah.
They're getting agitated, and then we store them out in sunlight. The bottles are plastic. By the way, oils and plastics don't go together.
Not a good combo.
You can pull that out. So now you're oxidizing these oils, and they're damaging to the body. Probably the worst thing you can do is in your diet is to consume those oils, and they're in just about everything.
So you mentioned soy, and forgive me here, and I don't want to be sensitive because I get people have allergies and things like that. But I feel like I hear and see more and more all these different types of allergies that when I was a kid growing up, like soy allergies and what is it, the celiacs with gluten and all. Is it because testing is being more widely available that we're finding out that people are? Is it a genetic thing? Like, hey, we reached that 5th generations of cheeseburgers, so now everyone's getting it, or how does that work? Why are we hear so much about soy and gluten and all this other stuff?
Part of this is is we find more and more cases of whatever, and like heart disease. We've got more heart disease now as we shifted away from saturated fats to these polyunsaturated fats and all this other thing. We say, well, we've got all these cases because we're better at diagnosing them. That's
you can speak the truth here, Fred.
I have a bad word for that. That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah. It's a bunch of manure.
When you as an example, autistic children, you can't be with an autistic child and not know that they're autistic. You're not better at diagnosing it. No, we're creating these problems, with our our environment and et cetera, and the drug therapies. So, and I think I lost your question there because I started
It's okay.
off on,
You got passionate on me, and I'm just going to let you run with it. That's okay with me.
So this is this is important. We need cholesterol. And the problem when we start pushing it lower and lower and lower, and I see people with cholesterols in normal range, and they're still, increasing statin drugs. Getting down to 140, you can't make the things that you need in that range. You can't. There's been doctors that say you can't make your steroid hormones if it's below that level. Now, I will tell you that a doctor in this county had a brilliant idea for people with his cholesterol patients or statin patients. He started giving them pregnenolone, which you can buy over the counter. It's the precursor to all these other steroid hormones. So that was his way of an intervention to improve that part of the negative effects of statin drugs.
Is that a natural, because it's over the counter, so is it man-made, is it natural?
Well, it's bioidentical, which means it's the same hormone that your body makes. So in your cells, cholesterol is there. From cholesterol, you make pregnenolone, and then you make all those other steroid hormones.
Now, let me ask you, not as a product endorsement, but as a get the check, check it off the list from Fred. Do you sell that over-the-counter medicine?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we do.
If Lowry Drugs sells it, then I'm trusting it. That's just all I'm saying there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we sell a lot of things.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
We still sell statins.
Yeah.
But
there are people that need them.
There are. I just don't like to see the levels get pushed way too low. I think it's a problem.
Do people come to you for is there a way in your assessments that you do with people to diagnose, or do you have to have the blood work first to know that there's something going on with the LDL and HDL?
Yeah, well, that's part of it. My function in that case is to educate people. What happens between them and their physician. That's a different aspect. But when you have side effects from drug therapies, then you start looking at that and questioning. And so, I had a recent case that the guy had low vitamin D. He's out in the sun. He works outside, but he's got low vitamin D.
So something's going on in the body then.
Extremely low cholesterol. He's got low testosterone, extremely low cholesterol. So, and his blood sugars are starting to come up. So, pushing it too low is a problem. Now, statins also interfere with an enzyme system in the liver. So your liver makes cholesterol. So when it interferes with that enzyme system, it interferes with the body's ability to make cholesterol. But that's also the enzyme system that your body uses to detoxify chemicals. It's also the enzyme system that makes CoQ10. CoQ10 is an enzyme needed to make energy on a cellular level. So your muscles, one of the side effects of statin drugs is muscle aches because you're not making enough energy to supply that to the muscles. The muscles break down. Your heart's a muscle, and it
works out a lot,
and you use it a lot.
Yeah, all day.
So, this is another thing that if you're taking a cholesterol medicine, you must take coenzyme Q10. That's over the counter.
Right.
So. Something to think about. There's just a lot of myths really about cholesterol and vascular disease and the prevention of strokes and heart attacks, but it's just not, and it's just not what it's cracked up to be really.
Well, you mentioned drug therapy. You use that term. Is that basically just a fancy medical way of saying, hey, when you get prescribed something, is that what you mean by drug therapy?
Yeah.
It's just I'm putting that in my medical journal right now to know for next week.
Yeah, but you can also think about, drugs can be prescribed or not prescribed. You can use natural products like drugs,
regimented daily
which
routine.
Is a little bit of a different thought process as to supporting the body, with the nutrients that's needed. That gets into another subject, but my cholesterol would be if I went to the doctor, they would want to put me on a statin.
Because it's too high or too low?
Too high according to the labs.
And so what's your thought process then? Like, why do you believe that yours being above their, recommended range isn't too high?
Well, there's some other factors in this, the ratios of, LDL to, my ratios are not bad, but my total cholesterol is like 239. That's not that high. We used to, years ago, the number was, we wanted it below 280.
Is that combined? Is that okay? All right.
And then we went to 240, and then we went to 200, then we went to 160. Yet, it's like
that's a big difference.
Well, we're not getting what the results we want, so let's just keep dropping the numbers or trying to figure this out. You can't micromanage the body.
See, why won't they do that for the BMI? Why won't they raise the BMI standards then? If I'm just not hitting that mark, why won't they raise the BMI standard for me so I can feel a little bit better about myself?
You should ask for that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do it with cholesterol, why not?
You don't have a elevated BMI.
All right, I definitely do. Fred, come on, don't embarrass me like that. This is radio. Come on, don't do that to me.
So it's important to do a lot of the things I've talked about. I'd be careful about, issues related to lowering your cholesterol too low. I mean, so we talk about it. A lot of these symptoms is aging. You're just aging. Well, taking cholesterol medication, in my opinion, is pro-aging. It's going to accelerate aging. So, if you're having nerve-related things, cognitive function, you're more prone to becoming a diabetic if your cholesterol is low. That's not news. That's not.
It's news to me.
Well, it's not. I mean, this is known in the community, in the medical community. Memory loss, brain fog. There seems to be an association with cancer there, depression. So the thing to do is to improve your vitamin intake. The homocysteine level is important, which means take B6, B12, folic acid. Pardon. Stay away from trans fats. Minerals are important. So cholesterol is vital to the body.
You talked about it being more of a combined formula rather than independent. I'll be honest with you, that's new to me. I've never heard that before, to think of it more as combining the two rather than them being independent of each other. So what's the magic number now that we want to be about at?
Well, I'm not sure that I have the answer to that any more than the lab studies have the answer to how low it should be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to vary, but I wouldn't be concerned, below 300 for myself. Now that doesn't mean that you should do that or anyone else. It's just, but mine stays in that range. It always has, and I'm doing okay. So now I might die tomorrow, but I don't know how many days I've got left.
Well, we're all going to die one day, Fred.
Yeah.
Health Talk is brought to you by Lowry Drug. I'm here with Fred Lowry, Jr., pharmacist and doctor of natural medicine. Join us every Monday morning at 8 a.m. live for Health Talk. Go and see Lowry Drug on Hartness Road in Statesville. Front door parking and free citywide delivery. Call 704-873-2247. 704-873-2247.
The latest headlines and weather now on NewsTalk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM.
I'm Mike Jackson, WSIC News. 40-year-old Ricky Taylor was arrested Friday by the Iredell County Sheriff's Office. Taylor was processed on multiple charges, including felony common law robbery and assault on a female. He was arrested shortly before 4:30 a.m. at a location on Wilkesboro Highway in Statesville and taken to the Iredell County Detention Center, under $12,500 secured bond. His court date scheduled for Wednesday. And on Mother's Day weekend, Roy Cooper sided with the abortion industry over the people. During his tour targeting legislators to uphold his veto, he met with Planned Parenthood and the owner of an abortion clinic. Mike Jackson. Now, sports with Joe Berg.
NASCAR this weekend was at Darlington for Throwback Weekend. William Byron grabbed the checkered flag. Charlotte FC beat Atlanta United Saturday 3-1, and Jason Day wins the PGA Tour at TPC Craig Ranch.
Now traffic. Justin Gazepis.
No accidents to report. Mike's still clear, but watch that bottleneck as you move through Lake Norman.
WSIC weather, mostly cloudy, chance of rain through this afternoon, high 75. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
Tune in on Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. to NewsTalk WSIC and the North Maine Financial Show. Heading into the school year, looking at the year end, what does that mean for the markets? What does that mean for your portfolio? Tune in to find out.
Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Don't turn your dial. I'm coming on at 11 a.m., and I want you to be there so you can listen to me on NewsTalk WSIC.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Homeschool with Joy. I'm your host, Amanda Wares.
Yes, indeed.
Homeschool helps